I think they're the better team in every game. The North Carolina game, I think, is a bit of a toss-up, but we'll see how the two teams are playing going into it.
Mark, if we don't show up, we will get blown out. Like, I mean, UNC's no world beaters, but if that team shows up that just went out there and was going through the motions and put up 19, that UNC team is,
yeah,
they're nice. But like you said before, as I was hopping on, a couple teams I'm worried about. NC State, 4 teams worry me, Mark, 4. NC State, Wake Forest, GT, and UNC.
Not Virginia Tech.
The reason why Virginia Tech, some of those games I think we're just going to be motivated for. Like Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, because of what happened last year, I think the team's going to be ready to go. Some of those games where the players are self-motivated, the coaches don't have to say anything, it only adds to how motivated they are. Because Virginia Tech is a little different from Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech was one of the worst games, period, offensively or defensively for Miami. In that shootout last year. Mike Pinckney giving up 3 touchdowns by himself. And just mind-boggling to think
You're talking about with the H-back coming out, catching those passes. Yep.
And linebacker is still a problem, Mark. Still a problem. So what does that say? It's going to take time to recruit. It's going to take time to develop to get that problem fixed. Now, could we have had Justin Flo and probably could have fixed it instantly? Yeah, but, there's certain things that other schools can do that Miami can't do, if you catch my drift.
All right. Dennis says the defense is not disciplined.
That's a funny term that he picked. That's a funny word to put discipline. I don't know if I would say they aren't disciplined, Mark. What I will say is that there is kind of hit and miss position by position. I mean, at defensive tackle, you have Nesta Silvera, who's playing pretty good. I mean, he's playing some really good ball. But next to him, it's kind of hit or miss. Defensive ends, who are pretty, I wouldn't say elite, but we're pretty darn good at the end. I mean, Quincy Roche, I kept calling him Donald Chaney Jr. because the double numbers throw me off sometimes in film.
Oh, yeah.
It just throws me off, man. And then you have Jalen Phillips on the other side as hype. I don't know if he's the numbers guy, but the way that he affects the game as far as being the DN that's read most of the times and forces QBs to get rid of the ball. He gets a lot of QB hurries, a lot of assist tackles, really good against the run. And he's like 2 or 3 years removed from ever playing ball. So it's really good to see him coming around the corner. Linebacker has just been bad, except for B.J. Jennings, who had a really good game this past week. Number 53 is one of the worst players on our team. Safety, hit or miss, because it's Bubba Bolden, but he's been having a downward spiral. That Virginia game wasn't the best game for him either. But Gervin Hall and Amari Carter, I can understand why he would say that undisciplined, because it seems as though we haven't gotten to the point, I have a better word, inconsistent. We haven't gotten to the point where we can play a full 60-minute ball game defensively, or as a team, as a whole. We haven't gotten to a point where we can play an entire game, 60 minutes, wholesale. Whether, one guy wants to take a play off or one side of the ball doesn't want to show up that game, we have yet to put it all together. But I can definitely get where the whole undisciplined because of some of the penalties and things of that nature. But weekly by weekly, Mark, that's the one thing that's going down. We had a higher penalties, 85, 90 yards. Now it's down to about 30, 35, 40. So that's kind of manageable. You get a 15-yarder here, a holding here, illegal formation here. Boom, that's already 35 yards. So we've really started to bring down penalties. So we got to get a lot more communication in the secondary, a lot less plays taken off.
Now, Bubba did have a nice pass breakup in the end zone. He seemed to be the only one who wasn't duped by that little pop pass over the top, and he got back there and broke that up. The tight end for them, Poljan, made a really nice catch where he wrestled that one away from, I think that was Bubba Bolden.
Yep.
That was on coverage, and he was able to snatch it away. Gervin Hall, they ran on the first drive. They ended up scoring a touchdown anyway, but they ran that screen pass to the quarterback, who hit the tight end down around the 5-yard line, and Gervin Hall closed on it and knocked it loose. Put a good some wood on him.
And what a great way that he did it, because he went low. He knocked the ball right out. You know, he put that shoulder pad right on that outside thigh instead of going high and getting kicked out of the game. You see that the coaching is being in effect, and he just went out, because I know naturally Gervin Hall would have just knocked his helmet off. It just blasted him and could have got a penalty. But he went low, ended up connecting with the ball and popped that ball out. That was a really good instinct and coaching working itself in. But I know that Bubba, you see it, and I broke it down, like you literally see him trying to push the tight end, but you know, that's 265 going up against 205, maybe 210.
Yeah.
So he was trying to push him out of bounds, but he just wasn't strong enough to push that big dude out. But he has the highest awareness on the defense. He tends to be able to figure some things out. And I mean, he's just a playmaker. And I'm praying we can hold on to him, man. I'm praying he doesn't leave, because I think right now he's already playing at like a top 70 pick if he were to leave. So he has some really nice, you know, I don't really know if he's a first rounder just yet, but I think somebody could take a chance for him mid-second, early third with that size and length, man. He is whoo.
Wholesome one. Martin makes an interesting point here that is completely away from the field and revolves around the fan base and the perception and the contentment of the fan base. And I hadn't thought of this, but I bet this does affect a lot of people. So Martin says, good evening, Mark and Wholesome. I think if Miami fans and other college football fans stopped gambling on games, they would enjoy the game more. Well, I would agree with that. I can completely enjoy college football or any sport, the NFL, without putting $1 on the games. I predict the games. I've gone this entire season. I haven't put $1 on any games. There have been other seasons where I've had a system and I played it out and whatever. You just have to know how to manage yourself and know your own psychology. It's like playing the stock market. You just need to know who you are, and you can't get emotional about it. But I think Martin picks up on something here that I bet a lot of football fans in general, and since we're talking Miami, get worked up because maybe the team won the game, but they didn't cover the point spread, and so that they're disgruntled about that. Of course, the Wholesome ones, speaking strictly from a performance standpoint, the team is not playing to a performance level that they should.